Hey y'all, have you ever used these mandala shapes from the Dotting Center? I love them. I've used them quite a bit, and here recently I used them to make some snakes. So I'll explain more about that project here in a minute. To begin with, I used a random template that I've had for a while with this starter shape. And I used that shape 3 times. So you'll see there's 3 lines there to represent that shape where I just twisted it and got the 3 sort of nested lines. Whenever you're trying to make 3-dimensional tubes, or in my case snakes, you need to have 3 different lines. You need 2 outer edges and then a midline. Okay, so the reason that the stencil is see-through is because you want to be able to line up the stencil with your grid lines. You can see here what I've done is taken one of those radial lines and placed it right in between the 2 sides of the arc that I'm going to draw. That way you can be sure that each side of the arc is consistently shaped. The other thing I'm doing is I'm aligning the outermost line from my previous shape to the grid line for the largest arc I'm creating next. So you can see that it will just extend this particular tube or snake shape. Now to do the midline of this snake, I go down to the next smaller arc in the stencil, and you can see that I've gone off my previous rule of trying to keep that midline aligned with that radial line, because in this case, in nesting this snake, it's not going to be perfectly shaped to the width that you see on the stencil, right? You've got multiple lines nested on the stencil, but that's not how wide I want my snake to be. Sometimes my snake's going to be thicker, sometimes it's going to be thinner. So what I've done is I've said, okay, as long as I'm consistently placing 1/2 of the snake arc in this midline, the same arc or angle that I'm placing the other side of the snake, at the same time matching up the lines from the previous shape. So it's quite a lot of thinking through, but it can work. Now it's just a matter of matching up to the last outer edge of the snake and making sure that I've lined it up, and then ensure that when you go to do the other side, it's at the same arc or angle. I'll be posting more about this whole creative process. It's a very organic piece in that it's not your typical mandala shape, but at the same time, I'm trying to be consistent with my mirroring and placement. So more to come.